Imagine having a wife as terrible as this woman. Her name is Kristen, and this story begins when she is 19 years old attending college in California. But Kristen has a serious problem. She is heavily into drugs, particularly meth. Because of this addiction, her life quickly begins to fall apart. She skips classes, fails her courses, and constantly argues with her parents about her behavior. Despite all of it, Kristen doesn't seem to care. Then, in 1995, she decides she's completely done with college and with trying to please her parents. She drops out and heads to Tijuana, Mexico, most likely to party and buy drugs. That decision ends up changing her life, because while in Tijuana, she meets a college student named Greg, who is vacationing there with his brothers. Kristen and Greg start talking and quickly hit it off. Before long, they begin dating, and not long after that, Kristen moves in with him. Eventually, Greg discovers the truth. Kristen is addicted to meth. At that point, he could have left, but he doesn't. Greg truly loves her. Instead of walking away, he commits himself to helping her get better. He supports her, monitors her behavior, and even encourages her to enroll back in college, this time in San Diego. Over the next few months, with Greg's constant support, Kristen slowly begins to recover. She becomes sober and starts turning her life around. Years pass, and by 1999, Kristen is doing extremely well. She graduates with honors with a degree in biochemistry and lands a job as a forensic toxicologist at the San Diego County Medical Examiner's Office. That same year, Kristen and Greg get married, and everything seems to be going perfectly. But only a few months into the marriage, things begin to fall apart. Kristen starts feeling trapped. She thinks Greg is too clingy. Instead of asking for space, she begins cheating on him, first sleeping with two of her co-workers. Then, in 2000, a new boss named Michael starts working at the lab. Kristen and Michael quickly grow close, and before long they begin an affair, even though both of them are married. Around this time, Kristen is responsible for maintaining the evidence logbook at the medical examiner's office. Some of that evidence includes drugs, including meth. Being around it every day tempts her, and eventually she starts stealing it. Soon she is using again and fully relapses. Michael discovers what she's doing, but keeps quiet. Reporting her would get her fired, and he wants the affair to continue. Meanwhile, Kristen lives a double life, getting high at work and cheating with Michael, while going home to Greg every night pretending everything is fine. Eventually, she asks Greg for a separation, leaving him devastated. Suspicious, Greg starts looking into what's really happening. That's when he finds a glass pipe among Kristen's belongings and a love letter from Michael. Furious and worried, Greg confronts her with an ultimatum: quit your job or he will report both her and Michael to their supervisors. Terrified of losing her job, her reputation, and her access to drugs, Kristen comes up with a horrifying plan: to drug Greg and make his death look like a suicide. She steals oxycodone and clonazepam from the evidence room and secretly slips them into Greg's food or drink. After he passes out, she places fentanyl patches on his arm to ensure a fatal overdose. Tragically, it works. Kristen stages the scene by laying Greg on the bed, surrounding him with their wedding photo, pages from her diary, and Michael's love letter, then scattering rose petals around him, like the famous scene from American Beauty. She calls 911, claiming she found her husband not breathing and suggesting he overdosed on pills. At first, there is no reason to suspect her, but Greg's family feels something is wrong. Greg was known to be afraid of drugs. A second autopsy reveals large amounts of fentanyl in his system, something that would likely come from a medical evidence facility like the one Kristen worked in. Police begin investigating and soon uncover her meth relapse and affair with Michael. Kristen and Michael are both fired from the lab. Not long after, Kristen is arrested. Eventually, she goes to trial, is found guilty, and receives life in prison. As for Michael, investigators never find enough evidence linking him to the murder, so he is never charged and never convicted.